Newton into the feet of Mclean. Lovely turn from Aaron Mclean, who sets a new club record, 7 goals in 7 league games.
So the club record, obviously, as you scored in consecutive games, that was against Accrington Stanley, a typical Aaron Mclean finish, I guess.
Yeah, to be fair, I think I might have missed a penalty earlier on in that game as well. And obviously, coming up to it, everyone kind of let me know that if I score in this game, then I get the record. So I was desperate to score. And I remember me and Newts we was having a bit of banter just after I'd missed a penalty. But to be fair, he was saying to me, "Listen, don't worry, you'll get another one." Newts was brilliant for me in the time that I came to Peter, because he's probably I'd known of him from before I came here anyway, but you know, he really helped me a lot when I came, and you know, I think that goal was probably a lot to do with his encouragement, and everyone was like that anyway in the squad. You know, everyone kind of pushed each other, but yeah, he was massive for me.
So this goal was at Stockport, a very unusual Aaron Mclean goal, I guess, because it wasn't anywhere near the box. It must be up there in the best goal he scored.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely the best strike. You know, I don't score many goals from distance, so I think that one, as Jamie's thrown it, and someone just said hit it. So as I've let it run across my body, I just thought hit it. I think we tried it in training, and I don't know where the ball ended up, but yeah, I just thought I'd have a shot. And like you say, it's one of them seasons where everything I seem to hit just seemed to go in. So, you know, I thought I'd try my luck, and luckily it nestled in the top corner.
Looks like you mishit it, to be fair, off the shin.
It's just so clean.
Sent off. Mclean with the penalty. Sends the substitute goalkeeper the wrong way. Here's Boyd. Laid out wide. Boyd continued his run. Mikel Smith also in the centre. Instead there's Mclean, and it loops in. And Peterborough 2-0 in front after just 14 minutes. Aaron Mclean has his second of the afternoon. Here's Boyd again, seemingly able to saunter through that Brentford defence at will. Mikel Smith down for Mclean, and now he has his hat-trick.
This hat-trick obviously came against Brentford. I think that was a 7-0 win. I think it was a sending off quite early perhaps in that game.
Got sent off.
All 3 different goals. I'm guessing the third one's probably a favourite.
Yeah, the third one's the best, because I think it had a bit of everything, and obviously the technique is with the finish. That's probably the best I've ever hit a ball in my life. But yeah, that was nice. I think I missed a penalty in that game as well. So yeah, the chairman was reminding me the other day that I'm terrible at penalties, which I don't necessarily agree with. But no, obviously to score a hat trick was brilliant, and at the time as a team we was flying. So you know, for me to be scoring goals and for the team to be winning, you know, that's all I needed.
Peterborough looking in rampant mood. That's a dreadful slip. Mclean could be in for number 4.
This goal, obviously, it was a decent finish, but silly celebration. You obviously had a relationship with Billy Crooker, who's one of the young under-18s and ball boy on that day. You stuck the hat on, and as you can see there, it's not the greatest look on you, but that was obviously rehearsed.
Yeah, before the game, a couple of the lads had these stupid hats on them. We was just hammering them about their hats. So we said, all right, look, if we score, we'll do it as a celebration. We'll put the hat on. So yeah, when I've gone through and I've scored, straight away my first thought was like, let me get that hat. And obviously at the time where we were scoring a lot of goals, we loved doing celebrations and kind of, do you know what I mean, just enjoying the time. So yeah, that was my first thought, is right, my celebration, get the hat, and then do the trademark knee slide.
And the actual goal you scored, that was actually went near post. You traditionally you went across the keeper, didn't you, when you got in those positions? Mm-hmm. Was that a fluke, or was that just a case of hit the target?
I think that one there was more, once I'd got in front of him, my thought was, because of the surface, it was wet, boggy, thought hit it low and hard, either side of him and it'll go in. And I tend to smash the life out of every shot that I have. So yeah, you know, I just thought, right, get my head over it, keep it low and hard, and it'll probably go in, and luckily it did.
Mclean's touch off. Boyd in the centre looking for his fourth. Oh, and eventually Mclean puts it in. A calamitous piece of defending from Accrington. Aaron Mclean doesn't mind.
Now that game was obviously ridiculously wet. We're going to see a goal in a moment that Newt's created for you, but I guess as a striker, when you're in the 6-yard box or in and around the penalty spot, you just know sometimes when the ball's going to drop to you.
Yeah, it was just one of them games where, you know, things just seemed to appear at my feet in the right areas. You know, I always back myself if I'm in and around that area. I fancy myself to score more often than not, and I think that goal was probably the luckiest out of the lot, because the guy was laying down and somehow I've managed to bounce the ball over him into the corner. I've obviously tried to put it in the corner, but with him laying down and then it bouncing over him, I think that was a bit of luck more than anything.
Well, that part of the pitch covered in standing water. Here's Adam Newton. Played in across to Mclean, who has his hat-trick, his second of the season.
You mentioned obviously the relationship with Newt. Obviously the pitch wasn't the greatest in that particular night, but sometimes I guess as a striker you have that understanding with someone that you know where the ball's going to go, and Adam Newton historically was very good at finding it.
Yeah, definitely, because with Newt, I knew when he was going to cross the ball, so mine was, as soon as he's getting ready to cross the ball, get across my man. And you know, we used to work on it day in, day out. We also used to do session after session with us, making sure we got across our man, and you know, that was just a perfect example of it.
And then Keats on to Boyd, and through for Aaron Mclean for his 25th goal of the season. And 14 minutes from time, surely that's good enough for 3 points.
A milestone for you, obviously 25th goal this season. Again, another typical Mclean finish, in the sense you run onto a through ball, little dink finish, and diving in the snow. Was that something again that just happened?
Again, before the game, when we'd gone out and looked at the pitch, there was literally mountains of snow in different locations of the pitch, and me and Boyd was talking about it. We were saying, oh yeah, we're always trying to think of different celebrations to do. So we thought, if I score, I'm going to dive in the snow. So then as soon as Boyd's flicked it in, and I thought, wow, I'm going to score here. As soon as it's gone in, I'm straight over to the snow. That was my first thought. I'd always go into the games thinking, right, what celebrations am I going to do today? Because more often than not, I thought, well, I'm going to score today at least once, so I want to make sure that I've got a celebration ready.
And one-on-ones, you never really phased you with goalkeepers coming out?
No, one-on-ones, I always feel confident with them. I don't know why. When I think about it, I think I'm probably, like, when I think about going through one-on-one, I think, it might go here, it might go there. But when it's just on the pitch, you just do it instinct. I don't know, you just seem to know. You kind of just relax in front of goal, and you know where you want to put it, and hopefully it goes in.
To the penalty area, deflected, palmed away by the keeper. Boyd again, saved again. Mclean, number 30 for the season for Aaron Mclean.
That goal obviously came in a big game against Lincoln, 30th goal of the season. Obviously when you're on something like 29, is it in your head, I want to get 30?
Yeah, definitely. You know, you always want to get as many goals as you can. I think I was trying to chase the golden boot at the time as well, or I might have even been top, but it's a case of making sure that each game you're consistently scoring goals, and you know, in order to win it. And like I say, we was always getting chances between the front, all the front players really. We was all getting chances, so you know, it's just a case of, for that one especially, that was just more about concentration and technique. And because we worked on it day in, day out, every session, so that one, you know, that was a pretty easy finish in the end.
Posh enjoying themselves in the sunshine. A nice ball over the top for Mclean as well. It's Aaron Mclean, League Two's top scorer for 2007-2008. Plunders his 33rd goal of the campaign.
This was actually the final away game. We'd already been promoted at that stage at Grimsby. It was a great day out. Obviously, the fans had gone in fancy dress. But for you, you wanted to keep scoring. And I suppose the key thing for that goal was your first touch. And I guess people didn't really give you the credit to say that technically you were a very good striker as well.
Well, the ball, it was a great ball by Craig initially. And then it was just a case of, I just wanted to try and get a good enough touch so that I'd be able to get my shot away early. You know, I always like to get my shots away early so that the keeper doesn't get a chance to settle. And yeah, you know, I managed to get a good first touch on it, and then it was just a case of guiding it into the corner. And yeah, it ended up in the bottom corner.
Free kick bent in towards Mclean. Nice footwork. And Aaron Mclean has a goal against his former club.
Now this one's in here for a couple of reasons. One, it was against your former club, Leyton Orient. As a striker and as someone who's playing against their former club, did that give you extra motivation to try and do well?
Yeah, definitely. You know, even though, you know, I was only a kid when I was at Orient. You know, I was there for 4 years, but 2 years as a professional, and never played never really started many games for them. So, you know, a few fans would have known who I was, a few wouldn't. But yeah, but playing against your old club, you've got a little bit of a point to prove, you know, because of, you know, obviously I got released from there and then obviously dropped into non-league. So yeah, I felt like I had a little bit of a point to prove. And yeah, you know, that was a great game for me to score against them. Yeah,
and secondly, obviously you showed a lot of strength there, and as a player that came from non-league, you did a lot of work, didn't you, to make sure that you were imposing frames for defenders to come up against?
Well, I had to, you know, and in order to be able to progress as a player, I knew that I had to get bigger and stronger, because, you know, you're coming up against 6 foot odd centre halves who, you know, look at people like Craig Morgan, who's an absolute monster. You know, playing against people like that, you have to be physically strong and be able to look after yourself. And having a low centre of gravity always helped me. So if I could make sure that I'm stronger on the ball, then, you know, I knew that would stand me in good stead for the future.
That's a good ball through for Mclean. Still plenty of work to do. And Mclean fires it in. It's a goalkeeping disaster for Matthew Glennon.
Now this goal was actually against Huddersfield. It was a big win, and the reason we've sort of selected this as one of your goals, because as I mentioned earlier on, you like to go across the goalkeeper, but sometimes as a striker, taking a shot early can be beneficial.
Yeah, that one was I just wanted to catch him by surprise. You know, once I'd been slowed up by the defender, it was just a case of either pick the right pass, or if I can catch him off guard, then I've got a chance. And at the time, I felt confident that, you know, if I have a shot, then it might go in, and, you know, if you don't shoot, you don't score. So I took off and had a punt.
But Aaron Mclean isn't complaining.
Now, I've watched that goal 12 times. I still can't work out how the ball went up at your feet, because there was a lot of melee beforehand. First and foremost, the finish is textbook, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the finish that I prefer. I've probably scored the majority of my goals in that kind of way, you know, just low and hard across the keeper. How it got to me, I have no idea. It was probably one of the scrappiest goals I've scored. But yeah, once I get in that position, you know, I always feel confident that low and hard across the keeper, as long as I put it in the corner, it's going to go in.
Question of Sport have a thing called what happens next, and I don't think many people would have expected that particular celebration. There's a bit of a backstory to it, because there's a stag do going on, and you were well aware that they were going to be there.
Yeah, well, one of my friends, Dougie, I think it was his friends, was on a stag do at the game. So he told me previous, and then I'd seen them obviously whilst we was playing. They were so loud, and you couldn't help but spot them. So, you know, I just thought, right, if I score a goal, I'll go over to them. So once I've scored, I'm on my way over, and then I'm thinking, I can't go in there, because otherwise I'll end up getting booked. So I kind of just went over, and then because he had his feather duster out, I just let him brush my hair, which I wasn't too happy about afterwards. But
when you look back on that moment, is it quite surreal, thinking, what on earth am I doing here?
Yeah, to be honest, once I'd got over there, I didn't really know what to do. I was thinking, I can't jump in the crowd because I'm going to get booked. So I was over there, and then luckily for me, he had the feather duster out, so I just thought, I'll just let you dust my hair for a bit and then get back to the halfway line.
Those goals against Millwall, another typical finish in terms of the fact you were able to roll the defender and get into a position of strength. When you're playing with teammates and they know what you can do, are you just asking for them, just give me it here and let me do what I do?
Yeah, well, we do this day in, day out. You know, in training, we're constantly doing these kind of drills and stuff, and you know, I think that's one of my strengths is being able to get the ball to my feet and roll the defenders as long as I've got the right body shape at the time. You know, being able to roll defenders and then get my shot low and hard across the keeper. So yeah, you know, the more you play with people, the more they get to know your strengths and weaknesses, and that was one of mine. So, you know, the lads knew that if I went in and around the box, get it into my feet so that I can get a turn on the shot.
His final goal was at Cheltenham. It was a crazy game. We won the game 6-3. I think there was goals going in all over the show. You really like this goal, don't you, in terms of the technique and how you took it early?
Yeah, that's one of my favourite goals. Just purely, I think they'd just scored, or we'd just scored, or someone had just scored, and literally the ball went back to Craig, and straight away I knew, you know, he's gonna look to play this in behind. So just made my run, and then I like the finish just because the technique. I knew that again, low and hard, concentrate on the technique, and it's got a chance. And yeah, that's probably one of my favourite goals, if I'm honest.
We'll bring Joe in. Joe's got 4 pictures. He's going to show you the pictures. I want to give you a chance just to have a look at them and give you a reaction to them, see what you can remember about them. Some are goals, some aren't goals.
Okay.
He will put them in front of you. Okay, so the first one.
Right, is this Bristol Rovers away?
It is.
Is this when I did the silly celebration afterwards?
Yeah.
Alright, so I remember I think I'd had the ball smashed in my privates literally just before, and I was getting some stick from the fans about it. And then literally not long after, the ball's come to me, very similar to the Millwall goal, as I've rolled him, and then straight away roll him low and hard across the keeper, and then I ran away doing a stupid celebration, holding my privates, which you better not show. Plymouth away, yeah.
Obviously with the current gaffer in the celebration, and I guess...
he probably set it up. I think.
Did he talk to you a lot about assists? Because obviously he was known as the assist king. Was he someone who always came on and said, "That's one more for me"?
Yeah, all the time. Listen, whenever he put in, even when he put a decent ball in and we didn't put it away, he'd let us know about it 100%. But the quality with his left foot was ridiculous. You know, he'd literally put it on a sixpence for us, and it was just down to us whether or not we put it away or not. But yeah, his delivery was second to none.
The Holy Trinity together, and I guess the fact that you're all smiling in that particular picture shows how close you were off the pitch as well as on it.
Well, we used to do a lot of stuff away from football together as well. And the thing that was good about this time is no matter who scored, everyone was happy. You know, whether Boydie scored, whether I scored, Macca, you know, we was all happy for each other, and we'd all try our best to try and create chances for each other, no matter what. There wasn't, obviously everyone wanted to score goals, but we knew that, you know, if we all create chances for each other, we'll all get our fair share of goals, and you know, that's how it turned out. Yeah, I remember this one. This is at the Den, isn't it? New Den. I think this was on Sky as well, this game. Literally. So the ball's going out of play. I'm running to keep it in play. and the guys blatantly fouled me, ended up pulling my shorts down, and the ref said that the ref's just waving it away, saying he's not touching me. So because my shorts were at my ankles, I was thinking I'm going to prove a point that he's blatantly tried to pull me down, I'm going to leave my shorts at my ankles. So I just started walking back with my shorts down, which probably isn't the right thing to do, but yeah, at the time I was trying to get my point across that he'd pulled my shorts down, but the ref was still having none of it. I don't even know if we got a corner out of it, to be honest.
And sometimes there's always a photographer lurking.
And there's always a photographer. They get everywhere. I don't know how they get the access to these places. I don't know.